Hello and welcome into Tammy Loves Vintage. I am here to do a little project. This is nothing vintage, but it is. Oh yeah, Tammy Loves Vintage, but I'm not doing vintage. How funny is that? Oh well, you guys know. Anyone that's following me is going to be like, this girl's crazy, but you guys that know, you know. We were messing around this morning with drywall compound. And I used a stencil and I put drywall compound, I laid down a stencil and then I swiped drywall compound over it using a trowel. And then lifted the stencil back up, you know, straight up, didn't shuffle it. And this is what I got. So I painted it with the base coat first of vanilla frosting, country chic vanilla frosting. And then I added, while the drywall compound, which I tinted with chocolate tart, another country chic paint color. And then I added diamonds. There's one. And I just poked them into the drywall compound. Okay. And then this is where we are. So I was really kind of just doing this to show a girl who was kind of struggling, junk to joyful. I was watching her this morning and I said, I'll go on and I'll play around with it because I used to do this a lot and I didn't really have trouble. So we couldn't figure out what was happening with her. So I was just messing around and it turns out I kind of like how it turned out, to be honest with you. So I'm grabbing my paint for my touch-ups. I forgot about that. And I turned on my hair dryer. I turned on my hair dryer, not my hair dryer, but my heater dryer, my dryer thing. Hi, Mona. So anyway, I was really just going to kind of do this for fun, kind of scrap, not really do anything, you know, I didn't really mean to do anything like project-wise with it, but it turns out I kind of like how it looked. So we're going to play around with it and see if we can't make something out of it. I mean, I can't do a whole lot more than what this is, but I was showing them how when you get a bleed underneath your stencil, you know, that you can just go back with your base color and paint it in and try and fix it up. And I've thought about it a couple times here today. I didn't get to run any of my errands. I was just about ready to walk out the door and Summer messaged me if I would watch Millie. And we hadn't seen her for a couple weeks. They've been in Michigan. So of course I'm like, yeah, I would love to have her. So I stayed home. So I've got to run my errands tomorrow. You know, your grandkids are your priority, at least around here. We get a chance to have her, we jump on it. So I got to stay home and play around with the little one for a while. Oh boy, okay, I need to make this a lot thinner, this brush a lot thinner, and see if I can just shimmy it in here a little bit. Yeah, just to tone that brown down where I didn't really mean to have it. Then I have to decide if I want to try and dry brush over the whole thing. Did I have any other little fixies? I don't know. I don't think so. Oh, yep, there's a little bit of a bleed right here, which means it kind of oozed underneath the, it's so subtle, but it kind of oozed underneath the stencil a little bit. The drywall compound did. And I just tinted the drywall compound with a little bit of paint. I just dumped some paint in my bowl and this is what I got. So I kind of want to mess around with, I was thinking maybe white wax, maybe leaving it as it is. Because I initially was going to kind of paint it with the base coat to tone it down. But I feel like white wax might do it. I don't mess around with it a lot. Oh, Debbie, you have to watch the other one. Well, maybe this will save you from having to watch it. That's funny. So you just, if I wouldn't have put the diamonds in it, what is that? If I wouldn't have put the diamonds in it, it's blue, I would have dry brushed, I think. But since I put the diamonds in there, not diamonds, but rhinestones, it's a wood board. It's wood. All right. I grabbed my wax, but I did not grab my wax brushes. Oh gosh, and all I have is these great big things. Well, that's fine. Okay, so let's clear wax it first, only because I'm going to try white wax. I'm not super familiar with the white wax, to be honest with you. I just, as a matter of fact, I had a ton of white wax and I sold it all to the girls in my group because I never used it. So then what happens? I'm watching Marlene at Marley Grace Creations, and she was doing something with white wax, and I'm like, oh boy, I guess I need some white wax. So I had to go buy white wax. So I thought maybe we'll try. I can't remember what she was doing now or why I bought it, but I have used it a couple times and I like it. So, okay, so rather than painting it, I am leveling out the shine of the drywall compound with wax. So it will all become a little bit shiny. So I'm just putting on clear wax. In this case, it's Country Chic's natural wax, it's called. Oh shoot, I forgot to sand it. Well, we'll have to do that, and then I'll have to wax it a little bit more. Okay, I totally forgot to sand it. I didn't realize it until I touched it, and then I could feel it was rough. So let's see, let's just wipe it down a little bit, which could possibly sand it enough. Okay, guys, I haven't done this in forever, so bear with me. I just want to take off like the high stuff. Okay. All right. Anything that's like sharp feeling. Okay, that's good. Now let's, what did I do with my brush? So now let's, so remember when I did that, the dresser looks beautiful. Somebody else asked about that. I wasn't going to share any pictures. She's picking it up on Wednesday. And then I was going to ask her to send a picture so you guys don't have to see it in the garage. Somebody did ask me about it in today's video, and I just posted a little snapshot of it in the, oh shoot, I popped one of them out. I'm not totally shocked about that. This one right here is missing. And I kind of buffed down into where it's not brown. All right, I'm gonna try a little trick to see if I can avoid having to get everything out. Where it is, here it is. Let me just try and see if I can kind of hide it. Not really. I didn't really hide it. I'll show you what it's kind of cool looking. Let's see, right there. Kind of looks good though, doesn't it? Actually, kind of don't mind that little black edge, but I'd have to do it on a few other ones. Let's just try it. This one had a little bit that I sanded off, so let's try that. I'm just inventing things as we go here, so just to teach you guys, don't be afraid. Oops, I can't get the white. There we go. So where, if you remember, I didn't super stir my drywall compound, you know what I mean? Like I did, but I didn't like super make sure it was completely covered because I knew I was going to paint over this anyway. Who knew I was going to maybe not? I'm just messing around. That's how we learn, how we discover new things. All that. It's got a spot that stayed white, trying to cover it. There we go. Okay, so I'm just trying to make the black a little more consistent, I guess is the word. And I'm just using a Sharpie marker instead of getting out my paints and dirtying up a brush and all that stuff. I'm just trying. Sometimes with a darker color, you can get away with putting some black with a marker and rubbing it out because that thins it down, but the black was much stronger than the brown. It didn't work like I had hoped. It didn't quite work like I'd hoped. Okay, so I'm just looking for, you know, balance now so that it's kind of even. Why not? My hands are still dirty from the oil paint earlier today and for the light pole and the rub and buff on the door. So it's up in my nails. I can't get it out. And I don't even have nails, but I guess I had more nails than I realized. Okay, come on, don't go dead on me. I can't even get any black to come out. A little bit, not very much. Okay, all right, so let's see here. Yeah, see, I'm just adding a little bit of black here and there. So let's keep going here. I'm not hating on it. And it's just adding a little bit of depth to these leaves. I'm just kind of doing it on the edge, here and there, randomly. All right. Then another thing that I noticed here is that this one is hanging way over. See that? It's like really hanging over. So I'm gonna just chip it off. There we go. I'm just gonna chip that off there. Okay. Everything else, there's another one right there. It's not super great. Sand that one back. Everything else is good. Okay. Okay. So now I'm gonna redo this just real quick here. Just a little bit of wax over the black Sharpie. Okay. All right. Now, let's see here. I just have to decide, like, do I of moved some of the dark, and I don't mind it. It kind of gave it a look. But let's try the white wax. So I haven't yet, Gina. I was waiting. I did in today's video where I made these boards. I put it in the comments. Somebody asked to see it, and so I took a snapshot of it. Let's see, what phone am I? I didn't take it on this phone, so I can't show you. I was waiting until she picks the dresser up on Wednesday and could take a picture that's not in my garage. Because we have like the air compressor and Millie's little plastic swimming pool behind it. And it just doesn't look very good. And I know it would look better. So, okay. And then to keep me from having to clean two big brushes, I'm going to step this over and let's do the clear waxing on this one as well. And then I'll load this up with the white wax. You know what I'm saying? Because then I don't have to clean two brushes. So just put all that thinking on hold there. So I am going to sand this one down. Hopefully I don't lose my gems. I'm not sanding it a lot. I just want to knock off the sharp stuff. You know, that cupping that we talked about. I just want to like soften that down a little bit so that it's not ouchy. Especially, of course, we're used to doing walls. You don't probably have to do that on a project like this. I'm more thinking about the walls where people are going to be walking and leaning on it and stuff. Because remember, I do this stuff on walls. So, there's that. All right. So that's just, I mean, there's a little bit of sharp, but it's all raised. But there's nothing sharp, like that's going to get you. I don't want to sand it down to level again, or I might as well have not done it. So you just want to knock off the sharp stuff. And then when I see your comment, Bernadine, I can, Gina, when I see your comment, I can, I'll I'll post that snapshot for you guys to see. But I want to do like befores and afters and all of that stuff, but I want to wait for a better picture of it. Nope, you're not on the, oh, over there's the replay. Oh, okay, you'll have to catch on the replay. Okay. Yeah, you're live right now. I'm live. So, all right. So let's get the clear wax and let that soak up this drywall compound. I don't think I've ever gone straight in with drywall compound, but I kind of like the white. I like the white. And I thought, would clear wax seal it enough? I don't know. I don't know, but it feels like it. Feels good. So we're just kind of playing. I'm just kind of playing around. Learning. And a clear wax will darken a little bit. So it is a little bit darker than what it was. Okay, so get it on all the sides. I'm going to take my rag here and I'm going to wipe it off because it's a little bit almost greasy feeling, you know, from the wax. I've got a piece of wood or there, I got it. I didn't like. Now, I wonder, oh shoot, I wanted to crackle this. I was thinking of the fine line crackle. I probably can't do fine line crackle over wax, can I? Does anybody know? I might have just messed up because I was thinking about doing that. But I was more worried about sealing this stuff. Darn, I wanted to do the fine line crackle, but I know it has to be dry, so I don't think it will work. Does anybody know about fine line crackle? Can you do it over a waxed project, like a freshly waxed project? Anybody know? This two-step Pentart fine line crackle? Anybody? I'm thinking I can't because I've done it and it's failed. So how can I test it and find out? Nobody knows. Okay, so we're gonna find out, ain't we? We are gonna find out. I don't think I can. Just because it's so persnickety. It's really persnickety stuff. When it works, it's fabulous. When it doesn't, it's disappointing. Okay, so there is that. So it almost has wax is a resist. That's what I thought, Debbie. Darn it. But it's a resist for what's underneath it. Wouldn't be a resist for what I'm putting on top, right? Oh, let's see. There's what we've got. Okay, Bernadine. All right. So it's a resist, yes, for underneath, but would it be a resist on top? That's what I'm wondering. I feel like it should work on top, but I know it has to be dry, and I can't dry wax because it's just going to melt. Like, am I just going to reactivate the wax by doing this? I'm into science. We're into science right now. This is like science class. Okay, nobody knows. Thank you. Nobody knows. Nobody's talking. Nobody wants to get in trouble. So do I white wax it? Or do I go for the, I kind of want to go for the fine line. I'm just trying to think, how could I test it? Could I test the fine line? Could I wax this and do the fine line and dry it down and see if it would work? It's not really going to ruin my project. It's just going to make it more shiny. I kind of wanted the fine line crackle back here where it's kind of plainish. It kind of has that crackly look with the paint because I kind of put it on heavy. It's kind of got that look to it. See, it's kind of what I was thinking. It's not looking great. So I thought the crackle would really give it a look. I was just playing with this. Go for it. You wouldn't do it. I want to. You can do wax on wax, but not paint on wax. I know. You're not supposed to paint over the wax, but you take another rag and clean it off. I know, but I do a lot of things I'm not supposed to in the painting thing, and I always seem to pull it off. But scientifically, if it don't crack, it don't crack. There's nothing I can do about it. And this stuff is 50-50 anyway, with luck. Like, will it crack or not? It's 50-50. So I'm going to put the lid on this white. I think we're going to try it. Worst that can happen, it has a reaction to the wax, and then we'll just have to pitch it, which I'm out nothing, $3 for the board. If it takes it and it doesn't crack, then I can just do something else over top. So I'm not really out anything if it doesn't. I think it's worth a try. So here goes. We're going to try. This is part 1, fine line crackle varnish. Here we go. We're going to try it, you guys. And everybody that said no is probably going to be right. Although I have done this before when I thought it was going to be right and it was nothing happened. So now that I'm expecting it to not work, maybe it will. You owe me, Fine Line Crackle. You owe me a project. You owe me a working project. Okay. It'd be kind of cool to do like molds around the edges. Like you could make this really cool if I could get the top board to be something. Are you all riveted in curiosity? Are you all placing bets? Are you all placing bets on how this is going to go? That would be funny. You could do that. I'm not sure which way I'd bet if I was betting. Yeah, that's what I thought. Let's try it. We'll never know. Just think if it works, you will all say, I saw Tammy Neff do it on Tammy Loves Vintage. On all these girls that say you can't do that, you can say, yes, you can. And if it doesn't work, you can say, yeah, you're right. I saw Tammy Neff on Tammy Loves Vintage lose. She's a loser. Oh, man. We'll see. We'll see. Is she a winner or a loser? We're going to find out right now. So let me mop this up a little bit. Got a little drippy drip drip. Okay, and then we're going to, let's see, I can throw this one away. It's empty. I'm going to take my dryer, and now I have to dry. Bernadine, you're voting for me. Tammy's got her fingers crossed. I know, Carol. We won't know till this is dry and I put the next component on. We're not going to know. Fleck of something in there. Fleck of something in there. Darn it. Tweezers here. I got crap all over my tweezers too. I hate these purple tweezers. I should just throw them out. Ooh. Hey, there was a skin of something on there. It peeled up like a sunburn. We might be working, ladies. It's awful thick right there, though. Should have smeared that out a little bit. Ooh, but I'm not going in now. It is what it's going to be. Okay, and I know I've got to dry, and I know it's shiny. Yes, we could. We could have a happy accident for sure. You never know. You never know. I totally was not planning on leaving it raw like this, but now I've actually sealed it in. Should be fine. But I got to get this white to go away because it will not work. So what we'll do, we'll dry this for just a little bit longer here. And then we'll go play with the other one and see what the heck we're going to do. I don't know. I'm doing things I've never done, so we'll see. I'm doing things they say can't be done. Such a rebel, right? Oh man, let's see. Okay, and then I lost a gem on that one. I have to think about that one. What do I want to do with it? Oh, maybe I was going to white wax that one. I think I was actually, wasn't I? I was going to white wax this one. So I kept thinking the white wax isn't even going to show up here. Okay, we're good. We're going to white wax that one. See what happens. I'd love to have antiqued this all up, you know, around these edges, but I don't want to add more stuff. Oop, that's starting to bubble there. Better let that calm down a little bit. It's starting to bubble where I've got it super duper thick, which I don't need that to crackle anyway. Okay. Okay. I don't know, Patricia. I have no idea. I have no idea what I'll do with it. Okay, this is 2, and I'm almost out, and this is 2. Okay, so here we go. I mean, I'm still white there. I'm still wet. I know it's not going to work where it's still wet, but that's only just in that stuff. So I don't really care if that cracks or not. Here we go. Keep looking like you guys are going to say something. No, you're all riveted, aren't you? You're riveted in suspense. Okay, here we go. This will tell us if it's going to work or not. Let's try to get it out of all that. Geesh, I don't need to open that other one. I must have too much. Wow. I'm just gonna have to put some back in here. Can I do that? Why not? I thought I would need more. That stuff went a long way. Okay, oops. I don't know if this is like regular crackle and you're not supposed to play in it or not, but we're playing. Let's try to level it out a little bit. Okay, ooh, I got a lot in there. All right, let's see. Let's see what's going to happen. This is going in the trash. Lids are going on this one. Went through my first bottles of Fine Line 1 and 2. First bottles wiped out. Okay, here we go. Let's see if we can see anything, because sometimes you can see these crackles when they come. Oh my gosh, my fingers are crossed, but you have to dry for a while. Hi, Rula. So yeah, we'll get it going, and I'm gonna walk away and work on this other one, but let's get this at least started, at least warm it up. I'm thinking positive. if nothing else, I just have a nice sealer over it, and then we'll just go ahead with the dark wax and carry on. No harm, no foul, right? So let me maybe clean up these. Oh, I got something there I don't want. Okay. Clean up these little rhinestones. I know it's just clear stuff, but I don't know if it'll yellow or do anything weird. Let's see if that's not one. These are just little rhinestones from, what is it called? What's it called? Totally Dazzled. Okay. I'm seeing a little bit of crackle, but maybe I am definitely seeing a little bit of crackle. I'm not kidding you. I'm seeing just a little bit. I'm seeing it. Holy crap. Okay, who voted against me? Who said it's not going to work? Let me show you what, I'm not seeing any right there though. Oh, there they come. It just takes a while. It just really takes a while. There they come. Oh, that one's starting to blister up, so I'm gonna pull it away. Getting it too hot. All right, I'm not sure you guys will be able to see. Well, I think I got her pretty roasty, toasty. So let me see if you guys can see the cracks. Let's see. Yeah, see them? Look at that. See them, you guys? They did. They surely heck to the did. See them? Yeah. All right, so let's just set this aside. And then I'll come back to drying it in a little bit. All right, so, yay. Wow, I know. It's not supposed to be, but it did. How cool is that? Okay, now I've already waxed this. Yes, I've already waxed this one. So I'm gonna try this white wax and let's just see. Now I've got to remember to put that rhinestone in there. And this one's really clouded. Let me see if I can. All the rest of them are still pretty shiny. Whoops, that's the one that's missing. I kind of had to put them in though, so that they would stick down. Okay. I might have lost two. There's another one with a circle right there. I might just try and lay one on top of that. Okay. So, I don't have a board. Yeah, I've got this parchment paper laying here from something else. Okay, let's just pour. So they call this white wax, but it's not white. To me, it's creamy. It's got like a creamy color. See, the paper's white. That's like a yellowy creamy, but they say it's white wax. It says it, well, I wrote it great big, but it says white wax right there. Do a little bit more. hating it, but I'm not loving it either. It definitely toned down the brown, which is what I wanted. I know it worked. Well, I mean, it sure looks like it worked. I don't know if it cracked enough to accept our antique paste, but sure looks like it worked. I'm going to do 2 coats of wax here. I'm really working it in. Now it's breaking down my brown, so I'm going to try and use that. I can see my brown kind of moving. So I've gotten my my drywall compound is activated. So let's see what that means. What does that mean? I don't know. I can see it. I can see it. So if I don't love it, I have a plan. I like it, but I don't love it. No, I don't love it. All right, so let's go with my plan, which now we're gonna find out, can you paint over wax? Because I'm gonna paint over it. So, because I don't love it. We're gonna find out, will the Sharpie bleed through? All of the questions are about to be answered because I am doing scientific projects here. Right. And I need to find my tweezers, my good tweezers. I am not digging on these tweezers that I have, and I can't find them. They're here somewheres, but I don't see them. Well, okay, fine. We'll stick with these. Okay, so I'm gonna see if I can pop these. Oh yeah, popped right out. Okay, oops. Wish I had a better set of tweezers though. Okay, 2. Oh, that was a better one. 3. Get a hold of it. Oh yeah, that was a good one too. I'm gonna try to get a hold of it without hurting the. Ooh, that one's really in there. I don't think I can get that one out. Okay, let's see. That one's really buried. I'm just gonna leave that one. No one's saying anything. Are you all riveted? 63 people watching me. Usually my projects are way more, I don't know what the word is, but they are way more figured out. I'm kind of experimenting. This is more like in my group. What it's like in my group. We get into stuff like this over there. Okay, so I'm rubbing extra hard. I'm not going to worry about that brown coming off. I just kind of want to make sure I get off as much of all this wax as I can. And we're good. Okay, now, I still don't have a tray. I gotta go get a tray, you guys. It's fun. Oh, good, Phyllis. Well, you're over there. You know what it's like in the group. Okay, so we grab a tray. And I'm going to throw these rhinestones out. I'm going to start with a fresh one that isn't covered in wax. We'll get some fresh ones. Okay, I like the white wax. It definitely toned it down. I mean, there's no doubt about it. I can see in the camera it's toned down, but it's just not a look that I am crazy for. You guys might love it. I can do better. So I'm not, I don't know. I can do better than this. Okay, so I didn't get that one out, but that's okay. We're gonna cover it anyway. Okay, Okay, let me see here. And someone told me to put a pin in this, and I didn't do it yet, but I did clean a bunch of goo out of it when we were, I hear air. No, we're not gonna mess with it with you guys watching. We'll figure it out later. Okay, so I'm just gonna dump some vanilla frosting into my whatever you want to call this here, my meat tray. And then we're going in. I should have said, who's voting that this isn't going to work? I'm painting over wax. I have painted over wax before. Quite possibly not this early in the game painted over wax, but I've definitely painted over wax without any trouble. Now, Country Chic, years ago when I sold their line, they said if you need to break down the wax to paint it, use rubbing alcohol. So keep that in mind if you're a furniture painter. You've painted a chalk paint, you've waxed it out, and you're not crazy for it. I would say if you're doing it for a client and not just doing a little $3 board, you need to do, thanks Pamela, you need to put some rubbing alcohol on a rag and just wipe over it. It'll just break down that wax. Try it in at least a little inconspicuous spot, because I don't know if they've changed the formulas. I don't know if it works for every chalk paint. It's worth a try. Country Chic is what I'm using, Kathy. It's the same, I always use that. We sold that when we had the store. I loved the label. I thought the label was pretty, and pretty much, you know, the little bit pricier chalk paints all have the minerals and clay and all that stuff in it. So it's more, to me, about coverage and the pretty labels. Had to look pretty on my shelves, right? Okay, so I just need to dry it. I'm going to give it a second coat. What's happening with you? We're cracking. Warm this board up again. Now you guys, normally, if anybody's new watching this, hi Heidi, I don't normally sit and dry things and paint things and stuff. We're just kind of playing around. I was watching Junk to Joyful this morning, and she was having some trouble with drywall compound and stenciling it with it to make a relief stencil or a raised stencil look like this, where you can see it raised. And so I was trying to help her in the comments, and I was trying to help her, but not be too like, I know what to do, you know what I mean? Like, I was trying to not be too over telling her what to do. So anyway, after it was all over, I messaged her and told her, I'm sorry, I couldn't help myself. I was just so enthralled in what she was doing. So then I told her, I'm going to play around with it and see. And so I did both of these boards, and they both stuck fine. Her problem, she used a different compound than me. She used the kind that's pink that turns white when it's dry, and it would not stick to her board. And she just used a chalk painted board. So that's why I opted for these wood canvases, and thought, well, I'll just see, you know, what happens to me. And then I thought, well, maybe her stencil lines were too little, but these lines are super little, and I didn't have any trouble at all. So I'm going to have to say it's got to be her compound, her mud that she used. It's got to be. It's the only thing I can figure. So if you're like, how did you get that on there? You can watch the replay from earlier today. I'll go back and label it part 1, because I did call this one part 2. So I will remember to do that. I'm pretty sure I'll remember. Okay. So we're just going to start over. I I did this in a dark brown. I tinted. I wanted to show you guys that you can tint your drywall compound super easily just with paint. So I did that, but I wasn't loving it. But I did do what I was wanting to do and show you in that. But this is going to be better for sure. So I'm going to do this just like the dresser. I'm going to clear wax over it, and then I'm going to do the dark wax, and then I'm going to wipe it off. That's what I'm going to do. And then I'll add the rhinestones back in where I popped them off. I can see there was one there, one there, one there, one there that I had to leave in, one there and one there. You can see for sure where I popped them out. And then I'll just use the B7000 and pop new ones back in because I waxed over them. So I don't want to leave the waxed rhinestones in there. Whew, it's hot. Running this thing makes it hot. Okay, let's go back to this one. I'm gonna let that dry. Got it nice and warm. This one's feeling dry. No, it's feeling dry. I don't have to do nothing. Okay, I'm gonna put the lid back on my paint. So I sucked all that up. I think dark wax would be better than the brown. There was so much contrast between the brown that I mixed up with the mud and applied over the vanilla frosting color. Now I do want you to see though, look how much, see if you can tell. Yeah, look how much darker this one is with that fine line crackle. It does change the color a little bit. I still love it. It's an antique-y cream, but it definitely changes the color. And then when I put this antiquing paste on it, it's even going to change it even more. Let's see, what do I want to put that on? I hate to use a brush on this stuff because this stuff is hard on your brushes. I even ordered the solvent because I wasn't liking my brushes getting ruined. Kind of felt like they were getting ruined. Okay, here we go. Oh yeah. It's working. Okay, I just have to decide now, do I want to just go ahead and do it? I think I'm just going to go ahead and do it over the whole thing. It's a paste, so I should be able to wipe it off. It didn't work. It doesn't look like where it was super thick, which I'm not shocked about that. So I had a lot of doubting Thomases. They say it's not going to work because I waxed over this. And then I'm like, can I do the Pent Art Fine Line Crackle over wax? And I thought maybe it wouldn't work because the wax was kind of wet. You know, I just did it. It hadn't set for days and days and evaporated into the air. And look at this. It's working terrific. So I did wipe it as good as I could, but you know, you can't really wipe. I don't know. I'm annihilating this brush. But I did let this sit all day so that all of the mud part dried. Look, it even did it over here. It's telling you what. Fine Line Crackle owed me, though. This owed me a surprisingly good job because I have failed using this stuff before. So it owed me a success. And the biggest trick they say is to don't use, like I just always use my same brushes over and over because I hate cleaning out my brushes. And it said one of the biggest things is make sure you use dry brushes. So I do that. Here's this. Stick this in my, okay. Here we go. Let's wipe her down. Very cool. That gave some action and something happening in between these floating, non-directional stencils. And again, I was truly just playing around for Lisa at Junk to Joyful to see what I could do. And yeah, wow. I think we, by George, I think we did something. It did not disappoint. Not at all. Okay. Now, do I want to come in here with the dark wax and mess around? Or are we happy girls? Let's see. Are we happy girls? Could you cut up that canvas to make the busted canvas? Yeah, no, it would chip. You can't, when you curled that canvas, it would crack unless you curled it, unless you put it on and curled it and pinned it and let it dry, curled back. But this is a wood canvas, so I can't do that. I can't do that. So let's clean up our little rhinestones here from the paste. Yeah, I'm getting a little bit. So let's clean the paste off of these and make sure they're sparkly. And then someone just said yes on the dark wax. I think so too. Yeah, I think I need to pop the raised stuff a little bit more. Oops, wrong one. Oh, I hate taking the lid off. This is the only thing. Oh, that wasn't bad. Okay, so this one I have used. I'm gonna do a no-no, and I'm gonna mix my. I'm gonna get in here. I just say it's a no-no because, let's see here. Oh, okay, what's happening? Let me see what's happening. I used my white wax. I'm not sure. Okay, kind of change the color of it a little bit. I don't think I'm hating it. Okay, here we go. You like this one? Okay, here we go. You might not like it now. We're gonna see. She still likes it. Kathy, we're gonna see what you think here in a minute. All right, so, okay, here we go. Let's wipe this off. I kind of wanted it to go down in the cracks and grooves and things. That popped it a lot more for sure. You polish these up. I have put these poor little rhinestones through the ringer from Totally Dazzled, and they're still dazzling. They're still dazzling. Can you see them? Okay, there you go. Anybody wants a screenshot? Let's see. Let's go like that. There you go. Okay, we are totally dazzled. Okay, now I think, I'm just gonna try dry brushing a little bit because I didn't clear wax it, so I'm not gonna be able to take off too much. There it is, and there it isn't. See what I mean? It's kind of, I've gone over, well, that one's not bad, but yeah. Okay, so I have a TH Decor link under my link tree at the top. It's the very first post always on my page is my link tree, and at TH Decor you can order the fine line crackle. But just remember to try and do dry. Use dry brushes, okay? Don't do a wet brush because I have had this stuff not work. But you just saw me do it over freshly waxed surface, and it worked great. I could not be more proud of it. Good job, Fine Line Crackle. Good job. Okay, now, I feel like, once again, these things are kind of silvery, not gold, even though I'd rather gold it. I feel like it's calling for silver. And I don't know, can I get any out? Oh, I can get a little bit out of here. See if I can clean up some of these foggy areas. Oh yeah, I can get a little bit out of there. Some of it's a little bit too much for me. There we go. It's almost a little too dirty. Okay, so whoever took a screenshot, get ready. We're going to take another one because I'm changing it a little bit here. Let's see if I can get any of this. Can't get much of it, but yeah, I'm getting some. Flip my stick. Definitely getting some. Okay. Okay. Here we go. Let's do that picture again. Okay. All right. Yay. I'm feeling much better about this result than the last one. For sure. Okay. So I just feel like because of that because of those silver rhinestones, I need to do silver. So that's what we're going to do. A little bit of silver here. Just a little. I'm going to go around the edge. Just a little bit. And then we're going to see how do we like it. So I've got whatever, whatever you do, one edge, of course you have to do it. So keep it a little bit, don't go wild until you're like, oh my gosh, I love it. And then you can lay your full finger on there and take it more, right? I'm liking it. So I'm okay with kind of smoothing it out here on the top. Oops. I just skipped over there more than I wanted to. And yeah, it's wiping off because I found out yesterday on accident that clear wax breaks this down. So if you guys ever put, what's this stuff, rub and buff, and you're like, oh, I didn't want that much, or I don't like it there, or whatever, you can use clear wax to pull it back, to wipe it off, get rid of it. That was a good discovery. It was accidental on that dresser I had. I was doing some silver and I got, you get to doing this and it's like kind of gets fun after a minute and I kind of got carried away a little bit. And so I went back in and I was trying to wipe it off and I thought, well, maybe my waxing brush will tone it down a little bit, and it took it completely off. It didn't just tone it down, it took it off. So, okay, now I want to do a little bit in here. Okay, here we go. Just on some edges, just here and there, just to highlight a little bit. Not too, come on, Tammy, not too much, just a little bit. Don't go too wild. Maybe over the flowers. Okay, over the flowers, here we go. And then I need to just put like a little bit here on an edge, Okay. We've kind of created a piece of art. A little textured piece of art. Oh my gosh, did you guys, speaking of that, did you see the Kathy, Royal Funky Junk Kathy, that put, some lady was really mean to her. She screenshot what she said and posted. She didn't put the lady's name, but she told her that that was not art and that she was not talented. How rude. Why would you say that? Like, she wasn't saying she was talented. She was just sharing a project. Like, what the heck? You are not talented and that is not art, she said. Oh. Kathy had a great comeback. I forget what it was now, but she had a really great comeback. But dang, people are nuts. So mean. Kathy said she gets stuff like that on the daily. So hard to swallow. Oh, she did say, I'll tell my 250,000 friends who follow me and watch me create things that you didn't like it, or something like that. She didn't say that, but something about her fans. So not nice at all. Okay, there you go. Now we have a little bit of silver in here, just a little. I'm not sure you can see it with all the other shine. Yeah, you can see just little pops of it. I love it around the edges especially. I'm moving it around because it's metallic and I think it'll help you pick it up. But yeah, how sweet is that? So, okay, so let's just see if you were to hang this on the wall, what's it gonna be? It's too far for you to see. It's too hard to tell. But I think it looks fabulous. I think it looks really fabulous. So like if you had like a big wall and you needed to put something on it, there's no reason you couldn't do like a big board of this. Go to Goodwill or wherever and buy an inexpensive old picture and then do something like this over it. I mean, you just created, I don't care what she says, that's art. It's not Michelangelo art, but it's art. Yeah, the crackle finished it. The crackle really did the job. I love the crackle. It really aged it, and then all of the stuff in amongst, and then the silver, I like. The silver took away from the rhinestones a little bit, but the rhinestones are a nice surprise when you're really looking at it. It's like, oh, there's a rhinestone in there. So that's kind of a fun, cool little surprise. So, okay, there's that one done. I absolutely love, love, love how that one turned out. This one's still wet, so let's play with this one. It's kind of going to look the same way, and actually I'm wondering if they wouldn't be able to hang together like a set, you know, like stacked. We'll see. We will see. So I didn't really have a project for you guys. I'm kind of just doing the, do you think the crackle would work on ceramic? Yes, absolutely, Allison. That's what it's made to mimic the fine line crackle. They have one that's supposed to even be crazing crackles. It's called the classic crackle. And it's supposed to be even smaller than the fine line. I bought it, but I haven't used it yet. So, I don't know. But I want to make sure this is good and dry because it's not only wax, but 2 coats of paint. And I don't think I'm going to, I will have to fine line crackle it to, dang it. I'll have to fine line crackle it to make it match, you guys, if I want to make them be a set. Which, don't you think that would look good as a set on the wall? Like these two hanging together, even though they're different patterns, I think that would be kind of interesting. Or stack them, you know, you could stack them or stack them like that, or, you know, however. I was going to say, if you don't mind, I think I'm going to do that. I always feel like you have to stay here. You don't have to stay. If you mind, then just close out, right? You don't have to stay. But I'm going to stay, and that's what I'm going to do. There you go. Okay, so instead of waxing now, which I was going to try that, I'm going to do that last. Darn it, I put my brushes in the stinking, dang it. Oh, more brushes to wash. Okay. Okay, hi. I saw somebody say hi. Hi, hi, hi. Hiya, hiya. Hiya, hiya. Oh, Phyllis says, yes, the hi, Donna. I thought somebody said hi. But yeah, it would definitely would work. You'll want to do a, what do they call that? Slick stick or a primer of some sort to prepare the porcelain. And then, you know, you'll want to paint it with whatever paint color you want. And then do your 2-step crackle using a fresh brush for each one and a fresh brush for 2. Where's my other, oh, I put them over here. Okay. Thought I was done. But wait, there's more. So, okay, number 1, they've got 1 on the lid and 1 on the bottle. So we're going to do 1 right now. Okay. I should have messaged Lisa to tell her I was doing some more. Guess I could message her now. I'm almost done. I've just not thought about it. I will. She's the one that got me into doing all this tonight or today. Let's see, Messenger. I am finishing up those boards on a live on my page if you're wanting to catch it, period. I just now thought to text you, and I've already finished the first one, but I'll show it again. Okay, there we go. Yes, they're all in my Amazon storefront, yes. Yep, even the vanilla frosting paint, my favorite, and cheesecake. Even the cheesecake is in there. It didn't do great where I had it super thick in there, so let's thin that out a little bit. It's really thin there. Slap some more on. I know everybody's doing this fine line crackle, so it's not like, oh, cool, I've never seen that before. But it's such a fun thing to do, and it's, I don't know, it's even the old school crackle. I still love to do it. I still love to watch them come, you know, watch the cracks come. It's so fun. And crafting is supposed to be fun. But I think I've even flagged the classic crackle as well as the fine line. So I haven't played around with the classic. We could do that, not tonight. And I didn't put these boards on there, but I did get these on Amazon. I got a stack of them, 6 or 8 or 12, I can't remember, a couple different sizes. And when you divide them out, they're $3 a piece. So I don't know what they are at the art section at Hobby Lobby. I just went ahead and ordered them so I'd have a surface to work on. I kind of like that it has the border that I can do the clay around the edges. I kind of like it. Better than just a flat board. Hey, Lisa, you got my message. Hey, while I'm drying, I'll show you how this other one turned out. There you go. That is what we did with it. So this one, I waxed it. I tried a white wax over the brown and I wasn't loving it. So I decided to paint over it and just start over where I'm more comfortable. Because I just was messing around with tinting that drywall compound just to show people, you know, but I like it when it's more tone on tone. And I was so far apart. I was not tone on tone and it was just too stark. It was too far apart. So I'm just starting over. So I painted over my wax. So I wiped off as much as I could. I did, and I had already waxed that board before I realized I didn't like all that dead space in between the designs. So, yeah, it sure would. But I didn't like the plain space, so I thought I wanted to fine line crackle it, and I'd forgot I was going to do that, and I already waxed it. So everybody's like, it's not going to work, don't do it, don't do it. But I went ahead and did it, and it worked. So that was kind of a science experiment, I said. And then this one, you're not supposed to paint over wax, and I did, and it's fine. So we're going to see if the fine line will work on this one or not. I don't know. You know what? It wasn't me. It was science. You know, the humidity must be right, and the board must have been dry enough, and my brush was definitely dry. You know, all the cosmic stars lined up, and I got lucky because I know I was doing things I wasn't supposed to do. Yes, I do too. And now I bought the classic crackle, which is supposed to be like crazing, like porcelain crazes, you know, the little teeny, which are even smaller than fine line, I think. That's what I've been reading about. So I want to try that next. I should just go pull my bottles and set them over here on the table so I'll remember that I want to do that. This would be fun to see, especially with this project. I would have something to compare them to. I sold all my everything's gone. All my projects are gone from our sale. I didn't have anything left. I had 4 items left from the sale, so that wasn't worth bringing a sale to you guys. Those girls, I had over 100 items, and some of them I had multiples of for their crafting, some antique things. And so, yeah, it was a great sale. Everything is shipped out. Desiree, one girl, I missed that she'd paid, so her stuff laid here, and I wasn't home when I saw that she paid. And when I got home, I forgot to put a label. Her box is still here. Desiree, if you happen to see this, I'm so sorry. So it'll go out in the morning, I promise. I was able to get it to work. Yay! I used a different tool, and you used a scraper tool, and it worked much better. Wonderful. See, I wasn't watching you, so I didn't see what tool you were using. Great. Oh, at least I'm saying. But now the sign's done. So did you take the sign down and redo it? Or you just moved on? Since she loved it, why would you? I mean, why would you, really? She loved it. That's hot. That's a hot tamale. Right there. That right there is hot. Okay, so I can put, oh shoot, I just stuck my lids down and we're not done. We're not done with this stuff. What am I doing? I am done with the clear, I guess. I am done with the clear. I think I put my, I did. Oh, I put my brush for the solvent in the Murphy's oil soap. Darn it. Ding dong head. So I wonder if I can use this for my paste. I don't know why I couldn't use it for my paste, even though it's got stuff on it. I'm really messing with science tonight. We're gonna do it. I had another sign. Okay. Good girl. Good. I'm so happy for you. I know that was frustrating. It was frustrating for me, for you. So good. Alrighty. Okay. Feels dry. A little sticky because it's so warm. So this was number 1. Okay, so we're putting that away so we don't confuse the two. Now here comes number 2. Oh, no problem. Sorry if I was like too much today. I didn't really mean to do that. I was messaging her like, oh, try this, try that, do this, do that, And I was stressing her out. I think she was like, disappointed that it wasn't working. And then you got me over here telling her, do this, do that. And then it wasn't making sense because I was texting her, and poor thing. She's live. Got all these people watching her. And who's this Tammy Nuff woman that keeps telling her what to do? I felt so bad when I got done. I had to message her. I apologize. Oh my God, I'm so sorry. I was just so caught up in what she was trying to do that I don't know. I couldn't stand back. I had to just jump in there. It's just my nature, I guess. I'm usually watching replays and I can't say anything, but I happened to catch her live, so I'm all in here. And I wasn't watching. I was listening more than watching, so I should have just shut up. Then I felt so bad for her. I thought, okay, I'm going to go over here and not to copy her, but to try and figure out what was wrong and why it didn't work. So, thanks. Pamela, thank you. I'm just used to being bossy when I got so many girls working with me. I'm not really bossy. We're always like teamwork, but I do tell them what to do, I guess. Otherwise, we just all stand around and look at each other. Someone's got to point the right direction, I guess. Someone's got to chop, chop. Well, I promise I won't. I won't be that aggressive. So if y'all want to see, you can go over to Junk to Joyful and watch her video from today. You can read all the comments where I'm trying to tell her what to do. And then talk texting, you know, sends the wrong words. And so she's reading it like, do what? You know, I'm like, and then I grab my phone. I'm like, oh crap. And then I hurry in to write what I wanted to say. Oh, poor girl. She's gonna see Tammy Loves Vintage pop up on her video and be like, oh no, I'm not her again. Oh, yeah. I'm just teasing you. All my people feel sorry for you and come over. What? All right. So we're going to see if we can make this crackle. So far, I'm not seeing any action. I crackled rice paper. I don't know, a couple. Oh, there's some. I crackled on rice paper here a couple weeks ago, and Julie was here, and we were chit-chatting while I was drying it, and you could hear it cracking. And when I shut the thing off, we were on a live with my girls in the group. I shut the dryer off, so we're all listening. It sounded like Snap, Crackle, Pop. It was crackling. Like you could hear it crackling. It was crazy. It was so cool. So we're all like, yes, I can hear it. I can hear it. It was cool. But you can't hear this. It must have had something to do with the paper. I don't know. It was very cool. But I could see the cracks coming, you guys. Definitely working. So you can paint over wax, and you can do fine line crackle even over fresh paint. You just have to make sure it's good and dry. And you have to make sure you're using a new brush for each coat of your fine line crackle. Since I learned that tip, I have had better results with my fine line crackle. It's always been a 50-50. I'm like, oh boy, I don't know if it's gonna work or not. Let's try it. And half the time it doesn't work and you're all disappointed. Like, what? I did everything right. But what I'm doing is using a wet brush like I just did, you know, and you dry it off and it's fine. And you can't use a wet brush. So I've learned that the very hard way. And had to settle for some projects to not have crackle when I sure wished they would have had crackle. And it was my fault that it didn't work. But I'm seeing the crackle here. Let it cool a minute, and then I'm going to go at it a little bit more. It's looking pretty consistent. I'm not seeing much crackling here. And here. I must not be running the dryer. I must be holding the dryer more in the middle, but let me, can you guys, yeah, there's some I can see right in here. Not right there, look. Now that you can see what I'm taught there. See where I pointed? Now that you know what you're looking for, it's everywhere. Okay, so, okay, let's see if I can get these corners to do anything. Even though these doesn't really go with the other one, I think because it's going to have the same finish, I think it's going to be an interesting set of boards. We'll see. And you all know I hate drying with you guys watching, but you have to dry. I can't do anything. And that one's done, so I can't do anything with that. Okay, I'm gonna call it. I don't see much happening over here or over here, not really. I might not have got my number 1 on very well on the edges. Might not have got my number 2 on very well. The edges were very thin, so okay, I'm gonna call it done. Okay, hey May, thank you Sandy. Thanks for sprinkling. Oh, let's see, somebody said, when you crackle, do you dry the glue? Okay, when you crackle, do you dry the glue, Mod Podge, or whatever medium you choose to use before? Absolutely, yes. It has to be dry, dry, dry. Very dry, Sandy. Yes. Dry, dry, dry. Okay, I'm glad you guys could see it. Okay, so here we go. Hi, Reese's. So here we go. I'm going to use a wet brush, but I think it'll be fine. It's just the, you know, the crackling's already, the science has already happened. Yeah, it's going in there just fine. Yeah, nothing happening here. The board's so hot, it's like it's just melting this stuff. I can just see it breaking down. Okay, not seeing a whole lot around the edge. Not anything really. Oh, there's a little bit right there. So this is just the paste. This is part of that fine line crackle system. Here's another thing. I thought I could use the wax, just dark wax. You just need a dark wax and it would get down in there. It doesn't work. You have to get this stuff too. This is antique paste and it's Umbra. Yeah, UMBRA, antique paste Umbra. That's what it looks like. This is what the jar looks like. Deco art, or Pent Art. I'm sorry, Pent Art. I said the wrong one. Yeah, no problem. Just everything needs to be dry, dry, dry. And so this is like a reverse crackle from how I'm used to crackling. So I'm going to confuse Sandy. Just don't listen. Regular old crackle that we used to, you know, I still do. You see me use my Sherwin-Williams crackle from 100 years ago. I still have 30 years. I'm still using it. My can rusted. My stuff is supposed to be clear and it's almost orange. It still crackles. So I'm keeping on using it. Anyway, to do the classic, not the classic, now they're calling the Pent Art kind is calling it classic. So let's just say old school crackle where you get the great big cracks. You need to paint your background. Like in this case, you would paint it a dark color and then put your crackle medium, let it dry. Put your crackle medium over it, let it dry. However the cans say, they're all a little different. So read your can. It's usually an hour, but read your can, whatever kind you get. And then you just are looking for a crackle medium, just some kind of crackle medium. And then put your light color over top, and then you just sit and you can dry it or whatever and watch it crack big, you know, big cracks. The thicker you put it on, the bigger it cracks. And you can't play with that stuff. You have to, like if your brush is this big, then go over here and do it again. You can't keep going back over here and playing with it because what'll happen, it pretty much starts cracking right away. And when you hit it with your brush, you'll kind of start moving those crackled chunks around and you'll kind of lose some of it. So you need to try to stay out of it. Get it down, move on, get it down, get it down, get it down, and let it do its thing. You can't play with it, like, you know. So then when it cracks, it is what it is. You get what you get and you don't throw a fit. You see it, the dark coming through. In this case, you put your lighter paint on. You do your crackle, you put your paint on, you then whatever finish, whatever color you want, then you put your number 1 on, your number 2 on. It does change it, it ambers it, it browns it just a little bit. And then I saw a comment and it made me lose my thought. And then you rub this brown on and push the brown into the cracks. It's a completely different way of doing it. So, you know, message me if you're like, I don't know what what I have and I don't know what I'm doing and I have a question, it's fine to private message me. I don't mind. I'm happy to help you. So yes, Elmer's glue, they say Elmer's glue works just fine. And I tell people that, you know, they used Elmer's glue to do crackle back in the day, and I've seen it work like a charm. I just have crackle medium, so I don't use the Elmer's glue. Okay, so here's where we are. Look at that. Look at that crackle. Holy smack. Look at that. It's even over the drywall compound. Look at the leaves. That did a great job. Now, so the difference is that I dark waxed this one to give it a little bit more action where I raised, you know, they were already raised. They didn't really need it. Obviously it would look like this, but it's not popping off the board from a distance, right? So we're going to dark wax. Oh yay, I didn't stick my brush in the water. Yay. Okay. Just take that off just a little bit. Okay, so here we go. I'm going to dark wax. Now, they say this pent art, they say you're supposed to seal it with this glossy varnish. That's the part I don't do that every time. I've never had any trouble, knock on wood. I don't always do that. I don't know what's supposed to happen if you don't do it. First of all, I didn't even know I was supposed to do it. And then I was watching somebody and she was, I don't remember who it was. I don't remember who it was, or I'd give them a shout. But, and they were like, okay, now we've got to put this, you know, you always use this sealer. And I thought, ooh, I didn't know I was supposed to use that. So, I don't do it. You see some crackle on it. Oh yeah, lots of crackle. There's crackle all over it. So I'm doing dark wax now. Just try to grab in the grooves of my raised stencil. Kind of want those to grab and pop a little bit more. And it did. Did great. I don't want to wipe off too much because they weren't quite as high up. Well, they were, but remember I did a lot of wiping and, you know, putting my waxes on. I did 2 coats of a clear wax, and then I did I did 2 coats of white wax before I painted it. All of those things are smoothing out that drywall compound. So I didn't have it's raised, obviously you can see it, but I didn't have quite as high of raises as I did on this board because I just didn't rub on it and wipe it down as much. Let's see if you can tell. I don't know. Yeah, see? This board's a little bit flatter than this one. You can tell, just a little bit. Again, scientifically, microscopically. But, so sealing, I don't know. I don't know if the sealing is important or not, because I don't know. I haven't done a ton of it. I'm on my second set, and that's all I've used. I probably only sealed 1 or 2 little projects. So I haven't had any trouble. I don't know what could possibly happen. Like it's already down. It's already done its thing, and it's not going to wipe off. I'm wiping it off now. Whatever's going to wipe off is wiping off. So I don't know. I guess I need someone from Pentart to tell me why I need that. Because I don't know. I don't feel like I need it. So I'm going to let that wax sit. If I rub it too much, because I have such it's like a slope, you know, I've been starting to wash it off. So I don't want to lose it around these leaves and things. I really want it in there. So I just want to wipe the top. I just want to wipe the tops. I don't really want to wipe like a whole lot. Yeah, I want it around the leaves. But my leaves are kind of going, instead of my leaves cupping up, the leaves are kind of softening now on their edges, if that makes sense. I'm trying to think of the words to explain what I'm trying to say. So, okay, now let's do our silvering, because I kind of want these two to match and go together. So I've done the edges of my board. I think the silvering is going to pop this one too. Let's just see. And then I got to put my rhinestones on. It will eventually fall apart. I don't know, Teresa. I haven't had any trouble with it. I don't know. I don't know. Have you had that happen? Have you had that happen? Treese, I'm sorry, Treese, have you had that happen? Yeah, the wax would be a sealer. I don't know if it's enough of a sealer. And I hesitate to put that over top of my wax, you know? So tell me, Treese, if you know. Oh, you guys, hang on. This landed face down. Oh. Hang on a minute. It landed face down on my wood floor. Hang on. I'd have been in trouble. Okay, we got it. Good thing I learned that trick yesterday. Am I getting it all over me? Not too bad. Okay. The wax seals it. Trees. I don't think it'll fall apart every layer. Yeah, I know. When I went to wipe it, it just smeared it. Sorry about that, you guys. Either I stop and clean it or I gotta go. Okay. So there that is on the sides. And then let's see how easily I can catch it. Terry Lightsey has explained it on her lives at 4 Eastern. She is an expert. Yes, she is. And Retail Therapy by Mara. Yes, they are both. You're right. And I do watch them both. Probably not like all the way through like I should. But I do follow both of them. Okay. Yeah, I'm no expert, obviously. No, I'm not an expert. We were just experimenting, you guys, remember? No. No expert here. No. Okay, I guess I don't want a silver on every single... Yeah, those girls sell the stuff, so they've got to know. They got to be able to answer all the questions and do all the things right? Because if you got a bunch of people's projects all falling apart, who are they going to call but the person they bought it from? So they got to know. I'm just a crafter. I just play with it, so I don't have to know. I am showing you guys, but I'm also telling you, I don't know. Okay, well, I don't have it on every one, but almost. Because this one's so consistent across the board, I feel like I almost need more of it than on that other one, which I almost have it on everything over there too. I think it's a nice combination here. Let's just see. I just feel so easy. Okay, there, I went back in with that dark. I'm darker right here, aren't I? I was trying not to wipe too much. And I'm darker right here. A little bit darker right there. You guys know to take a picture of your work, and because that's kind of what I'm doing with you guys right now. And I'm looking in the camera because the camera shows stuff. All right, so here's a close-up of this one. So now see how we've popped all of that texture and you can see it so much better. Oh, great. Okay. Great. Sold. Now you know how to do it. You're sold. Go order some up, right? Okay, so, but one thing I will say, you cannot clean this antique paste with soap and water. You must get the solvent. It's just a little jar like this, and it's called solvent. And I just set my brush in there and let it eat away. Let it do its thing. Thank you guys. And then, and this I'll probably just pitch. It's pretty much had it. I pretty much ran it through the ringer tonight. And then, oops, I got solvent on my table. So I get all of the stuff out of here. And then I'm gonna rinse that a little bit more. One more time. So 3 rinses to get it out really good. Okay, and then I put it over in my Murphy's Oil soap, and I'll clean it one more time. So, and I have silver, there we go. Silver, okay, put that in the trash. Okay, woohoo! Yay. All right, you guys. So we did some scientific experiments tonight for sure. There's no doubt we were pushing it. So let's talk about this a little bit. So I would call this more crazing. See, those cracks are small, kind of small compared to this one. Can you see the difference? See the difference? Like, look right here. See how bigger they are? See that? But this is all fine line crackle. But I think that Pent Art Classic crackle is teeny tiny like this. I don't know why it did that. It was consistent because I've got teeny tinies, super teeny tinies here, and then I get big ones. I don't know, but I love that. I did the silver, the rub and buff silver on the edges. Yeah, you can see it. Both of the edges I rub and buffed. And it's because I had those little rhinestones, which reminds me I've got to add the rhinestones to this board. I forgot that part. Let's do that real quick. Because I popped them out when I was going to paint over the brown drywall compound. I popped all of the rhinestones out of this one because I was going to paint right over them. And I needed a little cubby to stick them back in. And it made like little indents. Like, see? It made little indents where I had them. Here's another. See what I mean? So that showed me where I wanted to place them. Okay. So I just used the clear. I could have possibly went the bigger ones on this one. I'm kind of thinking I maybe did. Let me see. This is the little ones. Oh, let me grab my picker-upper thing. Okay. So here's my picker-upper side. And every time you drop one, it falls upside down for sure. And it doesn't want to flip over. There, I did. Let's see, here's a hole. Nope, this is the right size. Okay. Okay, so let's spill just a handful. I don't need, oh, that's plenty. Okay. And then let's get out our B7000 because it's got that fine tip and I've got to work on that glue oozing out. Oh, and I don't have any towels left. Oh, here's a tissue. Okay, let's use that. All right, so here we go. Is it natural crackle? Yes, 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 it is. But these different components are supposed to give you different types of crackle. So like, old school crackle medium gives you big, big crackles. If you put it on thick, it can give you nice, big, big crackles. If you put it on thin, it gives you just normal cracks, probably bigger than these. And then these are what you call fine line crackle, and it works just completely different. Hopefully you saw early in our video how I explained how they're completely different in their application. I might have more than that, but let's do these ones first. So that's going into the glue where I had a hole embedded in the, I was going to say clay, not the clay, but the drywall compound. Ready to house these. These are going to be super shiny compared to the other board, because the other board I've waxed over them and crackled over them. Okay, that one landed up, you guys. That never happens. Okay. Where else? Got another hole right here. Let's see. We have oh, right here is one. Okay. So looking, there's one. Okay. That right there. Here's one. I should have about jumped out of my chair. One. Oops. You smushed it a little bit. Okay. So, yep, here's one right here. I don't know if I had glue on that or not. Okay. I'm looking for holes in my leaves. Let's see if I got them all. I painted over one. I think it's right here. I'm gonna leave it. It's just a little bump, but I have silver on it, so it's fine. Could be right here. I have a, is that the one I just said? Yeah, that might be the one I just said. Oh, here's a hole right there. I see it. I see you. Okay. Stick that in there. And here's one more. Good grief. I must have put a lot on this board. Right by the thing. Okay, there's that one. And now I think I've got it all. Yeah, because the only one, I have a little bump up right here, and I think that's the one I painted over. It's a little hole right there. I didn't have one there. It's just kind of blistered there. Not blistered, but I saw the hole when I was making it. I'm going to go ahead and put one in there. I've spotted it a handful of times here. Okay, we're going in with that one. Okay, alrighty, girls. So let's put these back in the right pocket, number 4. Okay, my tray's empty. That's going in there. This goes back in here. All that goes in there. I really want to clean this up. I think I'm going to let you guys go, and I'm going to pick at this until I get it all off. I don't, this is too big of a tube to ruin. And I can't get the cap to screw down because it won't go. So yeah, I'm going to do that off camera. I thought if I get a good hold of it, maybe I could get it, but I can't. Okay, so let's put this on here for just a minute. Okay, now we have the rhinestones on. There you go. I don't know. Some days I am. So you can see these rhinestones are still there. See them? But they're not quite maybe as poppin' as these are. But they're not bad. I cleaned them in between coats and stuff. But ideally, I probably should have popped them off. I like that they were embedded down in the drywall compound. And you could see what it took me to pop them out. It took a little bit of effort to pop them out. So, you know, they're in there. Somebody said, how do you get them to stick? And I'm like, well, they just stick. I don't know. I just put them in the compound. I don't mean to be a smarty pants. I don't know. I don't glue them. You can't glue them in wet compound, but if your compound is dry like this, then you could do that. But it's too late to pop them out now. Seeing them super fresh and nice, I kind of want to, but I don't think, I mean, they're under all that paint and all that stuff. I don't think I can. But I wiped them with I used a Q-tip every coat of everything I did and tried to shine them up to keep them shiny. So anyway, there you go, you guys. There you go. Just a little how-to for Lisa became a beautiful project to share. I love them. And I think they're interesting together or apart, whatever. That's awesome. Yay. We won. Lucky. We fought science and we won. So, all right, you guys, thanks for joining me. 42 of you got to witness me in action tonight, doing something that I wasn't sure, how it was going to be. Yeah, so I think they look good. So anyway, thanks for joining me. It was fun. It was fun to play around with this stuff. I never get to do the faux finish stuff like I used to do so much of it. And now it's kind of few and far between. So it's super fun. And I've been having some requests to do stuff like this. So then when I saw her kind of struggling, I thought, you know what? I know how to do that. I'm going to show her. I'm going to do it. And maybe she pick something up out of it. I don't know. So anyway, that's what started this whole shebang. Was little Lisa at Joyful to Junk to Joyful, not Joyful to Junk, Junk to Joyful. Yeah. So anyway, yeah, don't get that wrong. Good. I'm glad you learned some stuff. You're welcome, Lisa. Have a good night. Thanks for inspiring me for this video. I didn't really plan on making a project with it. I was really just showing you how I do it, and I just kept rolling. So anyway, you guys have a great night. Thanks for joining me. And I'm going to go, look, I got all these brushes to clean plus this big one. So I'm going to go clean this mess up and then go stand at the sink and clean for a while. And I got to pick the glue off of this too. So you guys have a fantastic rest of your evening, and I will see you tomorrow. I'm running my errands that I was going to do today, but I ended up babysat. And then we do pizza night with them, with my daughter and her husband and the baby. So I don't know that I'll see you tomorrow, but if I can, I will. Okay. If I can, I will, but I've got like 10 stops to make. So I don't know, but if not, I'll see you next day. Have a good night. See you, Tara. Hi, honey. All right. Have a good night, you guys. Bye-bye.